Right now, something is happening inside your brain. Not tomorrow. Not in 10 years. Tonight. Every hour you sleep under 7. A cleanup crew that only works in the dark stops running. Toxic proteins pile up. Brain cells shrink. Memory circuits go quiet. And here's what nobody tells you. This isn't just tiredness. Scientists have a different word for it. A much more frightening one. If you slept under 7 hours last night, this video was made for you. In this video, we are going to walk through 5 specific things that happen to your brain when you consistently sleep under 7 hours. And I mean specific, not you feel groggy, not you lack focus. We are talking about measurable physical changes that scientists can see on a brain scan. We'll cover your brain's hidden waste system. We'll cover why your memories stop forming. We'll cover a connection between sleep loss and Alzheimer's disease that most doctors don't explain to their patients. Stay with me, because this next part changes everything you thought you knew about sleep. Here is the number that should stop you cold. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 3 adults in the United States alone does not get enough sleep. That is over 80 million people. And global figures are even worse. But here's what nobody tells you about that statistic. We have been talking about sleep deprivation as a lifestyle inconvenience, a productivity problem, something you fix with coffee. Scientists have a different word for what chronic sleep deprivation actually is, and it begins the moment you fall under that 7-hour threshold. It is not tiredness. It is not sluggishness. According to research published in Nature Neuroscience, it is a measurable biological cascade of damage, and it starts tonight. Number 1. Your brain's waste system shuts down. Your brain produces toxic waste every single day. This is not a metaphor. It is biology. During deep sleep, your brain activates what scientists call the glymphatic system. Think of it like a sewage network built specifically for brain tissue. Channels open between your brain cells, and cerebrospinal fluid flushes through, physically washing out the metabolic waste your neurons produce during the day. Here is the part that most people miss completely. This system is almost entirely inactive when you are awake. It only runs during sleep, and it runs most powerfully during the deep, slow-wave stages that you only reach after sleeping past the 4-hour mark. Sleep under 7 hours? Your brain's sewage runs at half capacity. Every night, the waste accumulates. And that waste has a name. We'll come back to that name, and when we do, it will change how you see every night of poor sleep you've ever had. Number 2. Your memories stop forming, not metaphorically, physically. During sleep, specifically during REM sleep, your brain transfers what you experienced during the day into long-term storage. Think of it as your brain's filing system running a nightly save. A study published in the journal Sleep found that even a single night of sleep restriction significantly impaired the brain's ability to consolidate new memories. But here's the part that should make you uncomfortable. It doesn't just affect what you learn next, it affects what you learned the day before. Miss adequate sleep tonight, and the experiences, the skills, the conversations from today begin to fade before they were ever properly stored. You don't just forget things when you're sleep deprived. Your brain never properly saves them in the first place. That meeting you had, that thing someone important told you, gone. Not because you forgot, but because the file was never written. Number 3. Your emotional brain goes into overdrive. Have you ever noticed that you feel everything more intensely after a bad night of sleep? Frustration feels sharper. Worry feels heavier. Small things feel enormous? That is not weakness. That is neuroscience. Research from the University of California, Berkeley found that sleep deprivation caused the amygdala, the brain's emotional alarm center, to become 60% more reactive. The connection between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain that says, "Calm down, this isn't a big deal," becomes severed. You are left with a brain that screams, and no filter to quiet it. This is why sleep-deprived people make worse decisions, react more aggressively, feel overwhelmed by ordinary situations. Your brain, without sleep, has lost its emotional brake pedal, and the longer this continues, the more permanent those changes become. Number 4. Your brain physically shrinks. Write this down. A landmark study published in Nature Communications tracked over 500 adults over a period of years and found that people who consistently slept under 6 hours showed significantly greater brain shrinkage compared to those who slept 7 to 9 hours. Not shrinkage in function, shrinkage in physical volume. The brain tissue itself reduces. The regions most affected? The frontal lobe, responsible for decision-making and planning. And the hippocampus, your brain's memory center. These are not regions you can afford to lose. And what makes this particularly alarming is the timeline. These changes are not happening over decades of poor sleep. Researchers have found measurable differences in gray matter volume after years, not after a lifetime. The brain is not infinitely resilient. Push it past its maintenance window long enough, and it stops bouncing back. Number 5. Toxic proteins begin to accumulate in your brain tissue. This is the one that stops scientists cold. Your brain produces a protein called beta amyloid. It's a natural byproduct of neural activity. Under normal conditions, the glymphatic system we talked about earlier flushes it out every night during deep sleep. But when you sleep under 7 hours, the flushing is incomplete. The beta amyloid stays. It builds up. It clusters. Here's what makes this devastating. These clusters of beta amyloid are the exact same protein deposits found in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. A study published in Science found that even one night of sleep deprivation led to a significant increase in beta amyloid accumulation in the human brain. One night. Now imagine what years of sleeping under 7 hours is doing, silently, right now. This is not a distant risk. This is not your grandparents' disease. This is a biological process starting in people in their 30s and 40s who simply don't know what their sleep is actually costing them. Here is what all 5 of those changes add up to. When we look at them together, this is the part most doctors don't explain to their patients. Every night you sleep under 7 hours, your brain runs its maintenance cycle at partial capacity. Waste accumulates. Memory consolidation is impaired. Your emotional regulation weakens. Physical brain volume decreases over time, and toxic proteins quietly build. These are not 5 separate problems. They are one interconnected cascade, each one making the others worse. The waste accumulation suppresses the very neural circuits that should be filing your memories. The emotional hyperactivity depletes the energy your prefrontal cortex needs to compensate. The shrinking tissue reduces the redundancy your brain depends on to maintain function. It is a compounding system, not a list, a spiral. And here is the question that should be keeping you awake, though hopefully not tonight. How long has this already been running in you? But here is what the same science tells us, and this is the part that changes everything. The brain is plastic. It adapts. It recovers. Studies show that even after periods of chronic sleep deprivation, returning to consistent 7 to 9 hours can reverse many of the functional changes. The glymphatic system resumes, memory consolidation improves, emotional regulation strengthens. The protein accumulation takes longer to address. But even there, research suggests that improved sleep reduces the rate of new buildup and allows partial clearance. This is not a death sentence. This is a warning with a very clear treatment. The treatment is free. It happens in your own bed. It requires no prescription, but it requires a decision. Tonight, and the next night, and the one after that. Because the research is equally clear on this. The benefits of recovery sleep are real, but they do not arrive instantly. Consistency is the medicine, and you have to take it every night. So, 3 things you can do starting tonight. First, protect your sleep window like an appointment you cannot cancel. The research is clear. Your glymphatic system needs 7 to 9 hours. Set your sleep time. Set your wake time. Keep them consistent, even on weekends. Inconsistent sleep timing disrupts the system almost as much as total sleep deprivation. Second, lower your core body temperature before bed. Studies show that a cooler room, between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, significantly accelerates deep, slow-wave sleep. That is the stage where the glymphatic system runs hardest. A cool shower before bed, or simply lowering your thermostat, triggers this physiologically. Third, cut your last caffeine of the day at least 6 hours before sleep. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that caffeine consumed 6 hours before bedtime reduced total sleep time by 1 hour. An hour less sleep means the full cascade we just walked through starts again tonight. Small changes, massive biological consequences. Now, before you go, we want to know what you want to learn next. Drop a comment below and tell us, what topic should we cover? The one with the most votes becomes the next FactSphere Science video. This channel is built by the people who watch it. If this video changed how you think about sleep, subscribe.
Ding ding! Let's press this subscribe button. Great! Now you press it too! Awesome! Don't forget to subscribe for more!
Because next week, we are going deep on something that affects you every single time you eat. And most people have no idea it's happening. We're covering what sugar actually does to your brain, minute by minute, from the moment it hits your bloodstream. If 5 minutes of sleep deprivation can accumulate Alzheimer's proteins, wait until you see what happens in the 20 minutes after you eat a piece of cake. Hit the subscribe button now. Every single video on this channel is PhD moderated and fact-checked. No guesses. No clickbait science. Just the truth your body has been waiting for you to understand. We'll see you in the next one.